Cellular respiration is a process by which living organisms convert energy stored in food, mainly glucose, into usable energy in the form of ATP. ATP is or adenosine triphosphate is a primary energy currency of the cell, enabling essential biological functions like protein synthesis and active transport. Cellular respiration takes place in the cells of all organisms, including animals, plants, and fungi. And the three main stages are glycolysis, the citric acid cycle, and oxidative phosphorylation. Glycolysis is the first step of cellular respiration, occurring in the cytoplasm of the cell. In this process, one molecule of glucose is broken down into two molecules of pyruvate. During glycolysis, ATP is consumed to activate the glucose molecule. ATP and NADH are produced. A small net gain of two ATP molecules is achieved and two NADH molecules are generated. Glycolysis does not require oxygen, so it's an anaerobic process. The citric acid cycle, or the Krebs cycle, occurs in the mitochondria, specifically in the matrix. Before entering the citric acid cycle, pyruvate form from glucose. Oh my gosh, my mind. Pyruvate from glycolysis is converted into acetyl-CoA, which then combines with oxaloacetate to form citric acid. During this cycle, there's the release of carbon dioxide. It produces NADH and FADH2, and it generates two ATP molecules per cycle. This step is aerobic, meaning it requires oxygen to fully process and transfer the energy. Oxidative phosphorylation has to do with the electron transport chain and chemiosmosis. The final stage occurs in the inner mitochondrial membrane and includes two key processes, which is what I just said. So the electron transport chain, basically there's high energy electrons from NADH to FADH2, and they are transferred through protein complexes in the mitochondrial membrane, creating a flow of protons across the membrane. Chemiosmosis is the proton gradient drives ATP production through the enzyme ATP synthase. As protons flow back into the matrix, oxygen is essential in this process as the final electron acceptor, combining with electrons and protons to form water. The result of oxidative phosphorylation is the production of 32 to 34 ATP molecules per glucose molecule. That was cellular respiration, so let's get into photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants, algae, bacteria, they convert light energy into chemical energy stored in glucose. The process primarily takes place in the chloroplast of plant cells, and it consists of two main phases: light-dependent reactions and the Calvin cycle. In light-dependent reactions, these reactions occur in the thylakoid membranes of the chloroplast. In the presence of light, chlorophyll and other pigments absorb photons, which excite electrons. This energy is used to split water molecules into oxygen, protons, and electrons, and it produces ATP via photophosphorylation and generate NADPH, which is an electron carrier. Light work. The overall byproduct of these reactions is oxygen, which is then released into the atmosphere. Well, we breathe. Doy. Anyways, and then the next stage is the Calvin cycle. The Calvin cycle occurs, or light dependent, The Calvin cycle occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast and does not require light. It uses ATP and NADPH, producing the light-dependent reactions to convert carbon dioxide from the atmosphere into glucose. This process has to do with carbon fixation, which is carbon dioxide is incorporated into a 5-carbon sugar, RUBP. It The carbon cycle also has the reduction stage, which is ATP and NADPH are used to convert the resulting molecules into G3P, which is a 3-carbon sugar. And it also has to do with regeneration, which is some G3P molecules are used to generate RUBP, enabling the cycle to continue. The output of the Calvin cycle is glucose, which can be used immediately for energy or stored as starch. The relationship between the two processes of photosynthesis and cellular respiration is that photosynthesis and cellular respiration are complementary processes. While photosynthesis stores energy by converting light energy into chemical energy and glucose, cellular respiration releases that energy by breaking down glucose to produce ATP. So the byproducts of one of the processes are reactants of the other. Photosynthesis uses carbon dioxide and water to produce glucose and oxygen, while cellular respiration uses oxygen and glucose to produce carbon dioxide and water, while also generating ATP. Both of these processes are crucial for the energy flow in ecosystems, with plants supplying energy to themselves and other organisms through photosynthesis, while all living organisms break down glucose via cellular respiration for energy. Some key differences, I would say, the location. So in cellular respiration, as said, it was in the mitochondria, and photosynthesis is in the chloroplast. Another difference is their purpose. The purpose of cellular respiration is to convert chemical energy from glucose into ATP. And the purpose of photosynthesis is to convert light energy into chemical energy.